We are Cam and Heather on Sea Clef, and we are on the trip of a lifetime. Come share in our adventures as we take you through the Great Lakes to Chicago, down through the river system of the Midwest, along the panhandle of Florida, across the Gulf of Mexico, and down the west side of Florida, crossing through the Okeechobee Waterway to eastern Florida. Then share in our adventures as we continue throughout the Bahamas and back up the eastern seaboard, finally returning to Canada on America's Great Loop.
This is the view from the back of our boat. This ferry coming in now comes over and docks quite near to us. We hear its horn blast all the time. This is at the Waterside Marina. We have Navy ships all over the place in Norfolk. And that tiny little boat with the blue flashing light on top, it is there 24/7 guarding those boats. We are in Norfolk, just run around on our bikes. Right, Cam?
That's what we're doing.
And this is the USS Wisconsin. And it is actually nicknamed Whiskey. And the reason is because it collided with the USS Eaton, that was a destroyer, and it took a huge chunk out of the bow.
68 feet.
68 feet. So they brought it in here, and they had not finished the USS Kentucky, which was in dry dock. So they took the chunk of the bow out of the USS Kentucky and patched it onto here. You can't even tell, you can't even see a seam. And so it's the WIS from Wisconsin and the KY from Kentucky that put the name together as Whiskey.
We are at, you guessed it, Waterside Marina in Norfolk, Virginia. It's been a nice stay here. We left the boat here for a week and a half and haven't really been here, but it's still a pretty neat place to be. We haven't done as much as we would have liked to have done in this town, but we did go for a nice bike ride today. Looks like it's a place to have a party over there. We were here last night and there was a band playing. But it's Sunday night, tomorrow's a work day, so I'm guessing it's a little quieter.
Today we say goodbye to the now familiar AICW and begin traveling the more intimidating Chesapeake Bay. For the most part, we have had it relatively easy in terms of travel days on our approximate 1,000 miles since departing Miami, Florida. We are now headed into open water that is prone to roughing up at a moment's notice. We are at mile zero, the big 0, mile marker 0 for the AICW. We're actually in a bit of traffic at the moment. We've got a large freighter ahead of us and some tugs, and so we're going to be going pretty slow for a while as we head through Norfolk, Virginia. But I forget how many miles it was that we've gone from Miami essentially to here on the AICW, and now it's over. We are departing today from the huge port in Norfolk, Virginia. The Port of Virginia is the deepest harbor on the U.S. East Coast and is home to the largest naval base in the world.
Well, we are leaving Norfolk.
We're actually a long way from the side.
Norfolk is the largest naval base in the world, so you can see we have some traffic. There is, that's just a cargo ship. There's another one up there, but there's some other stuff going on. There is a warship up there, and there's
Warship 55.
Warship 55, we heard on the radio. And there's 2 other boats out there.
I think those are tugs.
And they look like, I don't know. Anyway, we are just taking it slow, easy, and staying out of the way. I mentioned it was busy. All these little boat-shaped things on here. Oh, I touched the church. Oh, sorry. Those are AIS signatures of all the ships out here. Of course, most of them are docked, but they're all still giving off their AIS signal.
Our travels today were 57.5 nautical miles, and we departed at 8:10 that morning, arriving in Dymer Creek just before 3:30 that afternoon with an average speed of 8 knots.
So we got some aircraft carriers now. I know because as I zoom in, hopefully you can see that those two ships right in front of us, right into the sun, have jets on them.
Navigating the wide channels as we traverse Norfolk is awe-inspiring as you take in the sights and the sounds of this massive port and its daunting ships.
We know that the Chesapeake can be a rough body of water to be on. It is a very large body of water. At this point, it is actually very open to the Atlantic Ocean. We happen to have chosen a day where the winds are low and they are backing, doing probably about 270 degrees of backing, which is a nice way of flattening the water out. So we are enjoying great conditions on the Chesapeake today.
Good afternoon from the bridge of Sea Clef on this sunny, calm day. If you look behind me, you can see the water on Chesapeake is beautiful. We will take this
Any day.
every day. Very nice. Today and tomorrow look to be really good. It's almost, we're considering going further than we planned, but we'll see what happens. Today we're heading to a private residence for a fellow looper that has a house off a creek just north of Deltaville, and tomorrow we'll be in Solomon's. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Well,
I keep checking the weather.
Yeah.
They don't always agree with each other, so we just keep checking.
Anyway,
Sure.
it's beautiful out here.
It's been a quiet day. Well, it started with lots and lots of traffic.
Yeah, when we were leaving Norfolk, of course, it was quite busy.
But yeah, generally it's been pretty easy. Cam's been able to put us on a course. We don't have to do too much fussing up here.
Yeah, actually,
Our course is true north right now. Look at that.
000. So here's our course right now. We started out this morning in Norfolk at Waterside, and that yellow line is our course as we head out of Norfolk Harbor and head up the Chesapeake, which has been a lovely run. Goodness gracious, where are we? There we are. All right, so this is Deltaville up here, and we're down here, and we're gonna just tuck up into here.
wondering if this is a good area for them to just anchor until it's their turn to come in and get loaded up with cargo. So there's a shot there of all the AIS signatures of those ships that I was just showing you on the video. We are in the Chesapeake, in the area of Deltaville right now, and I just can't get over how beautiful this water is. I am just so grateful that we got such a beautiful day for our first day on the Chesapeake. Watching this thing from a great distance. It is the Lighthouse out here in the middle of the water, but from a distance we thought we were coming up on a container ship, but we could never find the AIS signature for it. Finally pegged it on the charts of the light, and I can't zoom in any further because there actually is kind of like a little house on the top.
Many loopers like to stop in Deltaville, Virginia. It is apparently a very good stop if you have maintenance issues or you need parts for your boat, or if you require a haul out for service. However, we were looking to enjoy a peaceful anchorage, and Looping Friends had connected us with some folks that live in a beautiful area of the Chesapeake, and we just could not resist checking out Dymer Creek.
We are coming into this lovely, calm neighborhood. Tonight we will be staying on a dock that is privately owned. Other loopers that we met in our travels recommended us to a friend of theirs who has a place in the area, and he has kindly offered to let us tie up to his dock for the night. He is also a former looper. So, boaters helping boaters. Anyway, it looks like a beautiful neighborhood. It's a very interesting structure there.
Dymer Creek was a beautiful place to stay, and while we were fortunate to have been invited to stay with past loopers at their dock, there were many places to anchor in the area with stunning views to enjoy.